Untitled with another Ghost Recon Breakpoint video, and today we are going to talk about what bonuses matter on your equipment. So, let's get to it. Now, we are focusing on bonuses for sniper style playthroughs. Now I'm wearing my, I've got my equipment set up currently for, hey, I want to reach 252 gear score. I know I could go do the raid and even potentially get up to 300, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about what to look for when you're looking for your regular everyday gear after you've maxed out your gear score, gotten to a comfortable level. So, first let's start with the weapons. Your primary sniper rifle in this case. Let's see here. This is what I've got right now. Attack 50. A gold one. Has a boost to range and a technique cooldown. The technique cooldown is not the ideal. The boost to range is. For sniper rifles, your long range weapon is almost always the number one thing you want is going to be the boost to range. That is the most useful stat for snipers. So my TAC 50 is what I always use for long range shots, unless I'm trying to get up to 252 gear score. But anyway, the TAC 50 is just a fantastic all-around rifle. You all know I swear by it if you've watched my previous videos. So it's already got a great range stat, but with that extra boost in range, it's amazing. Bullet drop is very minimal. Range is one of the few weapon stats that actually have a dramatic impact. Okay, so keep that in mind. Next, if I were to work to roll the best of the best for this, the next bonus I would roll for is bonus drone damage. Now I have a G28 here with damage to drones 12%. Now let's just go ahead and swap over here. This is my usual loadout. This is my all-rounder here that I always play with. It's the G28 on primary, TAC 50 on secondary. But for your primary long-range weapon, having that bonus to drone damage is another one of those where it's a significant boost. It is something really, really useful. You may not fight drones much, but when you do, you want that extra damage, especially considering you can't just spray rounds at them like you can when you're using an LMG or even a SMG. I actually use that MP5 I have to take out one of those stupid little car drones, not the behemoths, of course, but yeah, and it works great. But when you're trying to do it at long range and they're wiggling around, you want to get the most damage with each possible shot. So those are the two most important stats for your long range weapon. Now for your secondary, you got a little more flexibility. My G28, I like the damage to drones. Damage to drones is a great all-around useful for your two rifles, your primary weapons. You basically can't go wrong with it. Now, as far as other stats, they're useful. Reload speed is good. Technique cooldowns, okay. Mobility is one I actually like to have on my secondary. What I use when I'm in close range. Mobility boosts exactly what it sounds like. It boosts how fast you move while carrying the rifle. You can move faster holding a pistol than you can with a sniper rifle or DMR. And so if you're like me and carry a DMR as your secondary weapon, you'll want that boost of mobility. So try and get as big a boost as possible because you want to be able to move from place to place really quickly. Mobility is not as important on your primary long-range weapon. don't worry about it. Like I said, for your long-range weapon, you want to focus on range and damage to drones. Some other stats. Accuracy, believe it or not, is less important. Now, I've done a little more research. Accuracy basically affects scope sway to a very minimal extent. It does not have much impact. And I don't think I have a whole lot. Handling, once again, not super useful here. And of course, technique cooldown, like I said, it's all right, but it's not that useful, to be completely honest. So just keep that in mind. So for primary long range weapon, you want damage to drones and boost to range. For your secondary, you want things like damage to drones and mobility, typically. Reload speed is an alternative for mobility, if you want to go that route. But I don't think it's as useful as mobility. Now, let's say you're carrying a submachine gun. Mobility is going to be, once again, really useful. But it's still, I would almost say if you're carrying a submachine gun or an assault rifle, reload speed would be a better choice. But, alright, that's enough with your primary weapons. Let's talk pistols. Pistols, really, I almost never use them. There are very few instances where I use them. If I am in a situation where I'm trying to sneak into a base, then I might pull out my pistol. Or if I'm playing a panther class and wanting to play a panther who's a sniper, then yeah, I would use my pistol more. But there's not a lot to it. Damage to drones is going to be almost useless on a pistol because you're not going to be taking on drones with a pistol. Let's see, do I have anything on this one? Things like automatic marking, it can be useful to a limited extent, because if you're playing a panther class, you don't have your sensor launcher, so not a bad thing to have. Reload speed is something I'd recommend, and mobility. Those two are my primary recommendations for pistols. So there we go. That's our weapon bonuses to look for. Let's talk about gear now. The number one stat you want to look for in your gear bonuses is bonus to stealth. If you can get a bonus to stealth on each piece, that's fantastic. Definitely do it. You're not likely to be able to roll that all that easily, though, just because gear you can't just buy a blueprint for. You have to find it. Now, other good bonuses are things like movement speed here. You can see that. That one's obvious. Explosion damage resistance, somewhat useful. That's useful if you're taking on a behemoth or can't take out a mortar, but it's a very limited situational benefit. Drone evasion is actually going to be my second most important stat to recommend on your equipment. So stealth and drone evasion. You get gold of those boosts, and you will see a very big benefit. Now you can get bonuses to your explosive damage, bonuses to damage resistance for explosions, handling boosts, movement speed, max ammo. Max ammo is actually not that useful when you're playing a sniper role, just because you are not firing just a crap ton of rounds downrange unless you are a really bad shot. Now, I am admittedly not the best shot in this game. At times, I sometimes rush my shots, but even then, when I do, I have not run out of ammo except for early in the game when I was taking behemoths. And still, you got to go collect that ammo. You're not going to be running around collecting ammo typically. Now, if things hit the fan, you might be running low on ammo if you just got waves and waves of enemies coming and you're just not able to score hits. Sure, having additional max ammo would be nice, but it's not really that useful. It's a very, very limited situation. That's why I say stealth and droneovation are your two most important equipment stat bonuses as a sniper. Now, if sniper rifles had explosive rounds, explosive damage might actually be useful. That would be one of the few ways you could boost your damage output with equipment. But we don't have explosive rounds. This is not the Division, as much as people like to compare Breakpoint and the Division. So you don't have special ammo pickups and things like that. You have your armor buster, but that's not an explosive round. It's an armor penetrating round. That's what it is. So, all right, Ghosts. Nice, simple video here talking about equipment stats. Now you may be wondering, what about those bonuses from specialty weapons? Yeah, there are a few. Let's actually pull one up here. Pull up the blueprint here for the let's see. Yeah, it's an assault rifle. The Silver Stake Tactical. You get this for killing Walker, and you can get this in a battle crate now, I believe. So this has a special bonus on it. It doesn't even show it. I wish it would show it here, but it's you know what? Here, let's hop over to a bivouac here, and that way I can actually craft one to show you that bonus, because I don't have one on me right now. This is one of the few where it's subtly useful. You don't realize it is, but this has been shown to be one of the most effective weapons in oh, that's a fun bug. There we go. One of the most effective weapons in the raids and taking on those drones. So let's go craft one real quick here. All right, Silver Stake Tactical. There we go. There we go. Increasing bonuses when the technique gauge is low. Now that may seem a little odd, but that means you get extra damage and stuff like that. So that's actually useful. Now bonuses like with the G28 Wolves, where you get extra bonuses at night, not useful. Honestly, about 90% of the bonuses you get from signature special weapons are useless. Silver Stake Tactical has a very limited usefulness, and that's great for raids because of that bonus. You just got to keep making sure you use your technique regularly in order to deplete your technique gauge. And then you also don't want anything that's going to boost your technique refill rate. You want to keep that low in that case. But other than that, those bonuses are garbage. And like everyone I've tested and played with, it's just not useful at all. And especially because you don't get those great stat rolls like boost to range and boost to drone damage. Those are so useful. That they will help you out so much in this game. So definitely weigh those heavier over anything else. So, alright Ghosts, that's what I got for you. Hopefully this video has been useful and educational and filled your heart with desire for the latest and greatest tools. But ultimately, it's not about min-maxing, it's about enjoying the game. And you don't have to have the best gear rolls in order to enjoy it. I have been enjoying the game for hours upon hours. I'm well over 100 hours in this game. and most of that has been crafting content for you. Or working towards getting gear so I could craft the content for you. But I have been enjoying the game quite a bit, and so now something else to keep in mind: these numbers may change as of December 8th, 2019. This is practical information. Now, in a year, this information, if it's December 2020, Ubisoft has talked about changing the gear system, and it could be significant. So, you may not find this information useful anymore. And if so, we'll cover whatever changes they have. But until then, enjoy the video. Thanks everybody for all the likes, shares, subs, subscribes, everything like that. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to check out my website, classicwfl.com. I've got a redesign in progress. I should have it live within a month or two, and we will have better content delivery for my videos and everything else I craft, which is pretty significant. I'm an artist, photographer, musician, writer, and 50 million other things, as well as my day job, web designer, developer. So I want to thank you guys again, and if you're lucky, maybe I'll see you in Erewhon.